Right, still battling my way through all of these videos you guys have been sending me to look at for the competition, and I must say some of you are complete arseholes. However, tonight I wasn't doing that, and Jason Dangerfield pinged me a message and said, what do you think to this guy, Truffles Living History, something, I can't remember his name, even though he's on the screen. Hold on, let me just quickly look at what it was. Truffles Living History. I said, no idea who it is. I'll have a look at his videos, and found a video called Assembling My World War II US Paratrooper Webbing. So I'll give him credit for this video, even though it wasn't particularly this video that he linked me. It was just, he told me to look at this guy. So I am, and I saw the video and went, oh, clearly I'm going to have to review this like this. So we'll hit it, and here we go. And I love the title because you just know it's either going to go one way or the other. And for your benefit, hopefully it's the negative rather than the positive, because I know you love me. You love me? No, you don't. You definitely don't do that. You love seeing me be a complete bellend. So here we go.
Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do the long-awaited rebuilding of my airborne web setup. Now, as with all the other airborne content, I know some of you will hate it, some of you will love it. But anyway, we're going to
like everything airborne.
get on with this. I'll walk you through what items I'm going to try and get on the web gear.
What we're looking at isn't bad, you know. Ground bayonet, most people seem to miss that off for whatever goddamn reason. The shoulder things are a bit thin and very grey looking, but who knows what colour they were. We only see black and white pictures. Musette bag's obviously an original. The rigger pouches look good, so this looks positive, and there's lots of nice little things dotted around in the background as well. Although that looks like a bandwagon of brothels helmet, but we'll ignore that. His 42 doesn't look CC2'd, but then again, the one I keep behind me on the chair isn't CC2'd. It's one I wear for not day-to-day use, but if I'm nipping to the post box, I'll grab that rather than go and find a normal coat. So we'll ignore the non-CC2 jacket.
Then we'll make a start, put the whole thing through together, test fit and everything, and see what we come out with at the end. Hopefully it'll be something really good that will make it an airborne impression that's actually worth having, as opposed to the stereotype that a lot of people kick off about.
Oh yeah, okay. I have positive feelings that this is actually going to be good, because he knows that most impressions are a pile of shit. Bing.
Right, so let's have a quick run through what we got here. First on the list, just grab these at random. A nice canteen pouch.
Yep.
But it is one of the lovely...
Please say it. Please say it. Please say it's an airborne Mark IV super duper belted canteen cover.
Reinforced ones. Now, people made a big hoo-ha about the airborne, especially getting these reinforced ones, which were made for the cavalry originally.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's as big a thing as it's really made out.
They were a reinforced one. That's pretty much it, really. I don't think there was any intention to issue them to any unit specifically. They were just an improved version of the canteen cover.
They definitely had them, but
yeah,
they're not a specific airborne thing.
Good lad. You're right. They weren't a specific airborne thing. They were an improved cover. And they went to everybody.
Either way, I have a really nice original one,
That's nice.
So that's definitely going on the gear. So we'll pop that aside then. Then we've got ourselves a nice original bandage pouch. Bring it up for you to see a little bit better. You see it's got some really nice brass fittings on there, lovely and clean. So that'll be added to it. We're going to put on the M1 bayonet for the Garand, and then whenever I'm not using a Garand, I'll simply pull this off the weapon. But for the first event that I'll be using this at, I definitely will be using the Garand with it, so see if we can fit the bayonet on there nicely. What else we got? A set of very old and worn pads for the suspenders. Now, I don't know if these are meant to be this colour or if they're meant to be brown. Don't recall seeing originals. I know on like Band of Brothers, everyone's favourite programme, that these are brown, but I don't know the case. Either way, these have done me for 5 years so far, and they haven't broke yet, and a lot of people have these break the first time they use them. So I'm going to stick with them until they're completely worn out.
Yeah, a lot of them are, when you get them nicely made. I won't mention the guy who... Thanks, phone. who made our batch, but he almost gave us the impression they were consumable and you'd be replacing them every year, which, to me, that's just absurd. I was looking at some pictures the other day, and they are really, really thick in one. I think they might have been market garden pictures, because I was looking to see if these shoulder pads were still there, and sure enough they are, but they look incredibly thick. I mean, much more thicker than you'd expect. And again, as he says, who knows what colour they were. I mean, if you do see an original pair, is that the only colour they came in, or were they in 400 different shades of brown and tan and OD and every other colour that the army seemed to use?
They're clearly a good set, so they'll go on the suspenders. Then we obviously have the suspenders and the belt. I've already pre-sized the suspenders, so I know they're pretty much where I want them to be, and fit them to the belt. They'll have to come back on and off, and then have some adjustments when I fit the musette bag. But for now, they're all right. So they are reproduction suspenders, but they're nice old reproduction ones, so they're a really good colour. If I just
yeah, they do look a good colour, in fairness.
Grab my bandage again,
yeah,
you can see it's pretty nice.
I mean, nothing has to match perfectly, because this shit did not match perfectly back then.
Nice colouring. So we'll go with them, and the nice new belt I picked up, which hopefully will dull up and get a bit grimy over time. So that will cover the majority of it. Then we're going to fit one of my 43 entrenching tools, my M43 entrenching tools I mean. The one in the nicer cover. I've fitted my older faded cover onto the haversack where you don't normally notice it, so this will look really nice on the weapon. Decided to go for the 43 instead of the 1910. I don't have a shortened 1910 or anything fancy like that, and these tend to jab into your leg less than the T-handle shovels do. So I'm going to go for this one.
Oh, we didn't get to see the back, or did we? Can we? Oh, just because I'm being really picky.
Than the T-handle shovels do.
Come on.
So I'm going to go for this one.
The back. Oh, it has. Okay, so that's the. I know this is going to be really picky, but it shouldn't have the 3 adjustment places. It should just be the one tab with the one thing. But that's just me being an arse, because you don't see it. So.
Then we got a nice original musette bag, lovely and tidy, bit grimy, which is what you want really. You've seen this bag before.
See now, original's great, because it is original. You can't get anything wrong with it. People can't go, well, that pocket's not right, because it's an original. But it's as soon as it starts to fade, as soon as it starts to look old, this stuff was supposed to be brand new at the time. This stuff they were wearing was not 80 years old. It was brand new. It was fresh. It was straight out of a packing crate and given to you and issued to you. So there's a point where original stuff sort of becomes not unusable, but it's not right for a new invasion, especially something like Market Garden where everything was not everything, but most things were brand new, like the M43 uniform. It should look crisp. It should look sharp. So you've got to use the right stuff.
So now,
I hope that made sense.
Now it's time for this to get fitted to an actual web set, and I'll
nice
find some more musette bags to use on my vehicle. And then lastly, the 3 HTC reproduction.
Thought they looked good. Yes, HTC. Good, perfect. You cannot go wrong with anything Nigel makes. Fantastic.
Pages that I did a video on. And I've adjusted the light settings on the camera a bit, so hopefully you can see these a bit more true to what their normal colour is. Everything was a bit too greeny brown in that video, but to me on the camera they're looking a lot more accurate to what they actually are in real life. So we'll try and fit all this on. I don't know exactly how it's going to go, probably really badly knowing me, but let's make a start. And to start with, I'll lay the belt out and we're just going to roughly figure out exactly where we want to put each of the items. Right then, this is...
So, what springs to mind straight away? He's doing 506, isn't he? The only thing straight away I would see from that I would do is swap the Carlisle pouch for the other rigger pouch and have it more that way round, because whatever's in that back pouch you're going to struggle to get, whether it be grenades, M blocks. You want that more to hand than your Carlisle bandage, I mean, if you're desperately in need of a Carlisle bandage for yourself, you ain't going to be using it because you're that wounded. If you need it for somebody else, you can take your weapon off and get to it. It's it's not essential to reach that. However, ammunition and things are. You tend to see the 502 put the canteen cover and the Carlisle pouch on the back in the same way round. I can't remember whether it's canteen and Carlisle or Carlisle and canteen. I can't remember without looking at pictures. That's the only thing I would do initially. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with it that way around. Each guy did their own thing, so if it works for you, it works for you.
The belt laid out with my first idea of where we're going to put it, and I think this is going to take a lot of attempts to get exactly right.
Absolutely.
So we want a couple of rigger pouches right at the front where you can access them.
Yep.
I'm going to put the third one right in the middle at the back. Going to have the T-handle shovel on my right hand side. Yep, my right hand side. And then I'll put the bayonet and the canteen on the left hand side. I'll worry about adding the pads and that to the suspenders and worry about the musette bag after we've got the belt sorted out. So this might start with this. So what I'm going to do to begin with is get this central rigger pouch on. The rigger pouches need to be put on first really because you have to take all the suspender bits off, slide them where you want them and then put them on. So if I just move these items out of the way. And then you've seen me do stuff on belts before, so I'm not going to go over the exacts of how you do it, but as most of you should know by now, you simply unclip the suspenders from the loops. I'm going to be careful not to lose the positioning because that's pretty much where I want it to be. Then the rigger pouch, going to open up the loop at the back and simply
jam on through.
Slide that over to where I want it, which is there.
Yep.
And then I'm going to put
because it ain't going
the
anywhere
connectors
else.
back in. Again, I'll probably have to adjust these connectors once
101
the
times.
musette bag gets fitted, because I haven't decided exactly how I want to connect the musette bag yet. You can have it so that the not the back one, sorry, these side ones go and hold the musette bag down on the bottom loops, which are
it should be done like that, but then if you're just wearing your webbing around and you don't have your musette bag on, it's a pain in the arse because it starts to drop in certain places. So if you're only wearing your belt without the musette bag, have it all clipped on.
shown in a little while. Or you can have them not attached to the musette bag at all and have that just hanging down, and then you can flick it over your head and spin it to actually access it on your own and then flick it back. But the problem with that is when you move side to side, the musette bag will swing around all over the place. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, back to these rigger pouches. This one's in position. This one's in position, so I now put this bolt or suspender hook back in. And then lastly, we do this one. Pop that in. And there you go. So hopefully this will work out, and when these are full, obviously they'll be a bit more pudged in like that,
Square
so they won't take up so much space. So just start hanging the wire hooks on. Right, I'm going to start off with the bandage pouch. Now, I know I'm putting this on the front, and some people are going to say, well, in the manual that says they had it on the back, and blah blah.
Yeah, as I said, but again, you can look at a million pictures of a million different guys, and they'll all be wearing their webbing completely differently because it's how they wanted to wear it, how they wanted to lay it out.
Blah blah. There's plenty of photos of soldiers with these in various different places.
Absolutely.
Especially if you're putting as much stuff as going on this webbing, because the airborne do seem to have a lot more bits and pieces. It's harder to fit everything on. Then I think it's quite positively safe to say you can put this, or the soldiers would put this where that was convenient.
Absolutely.
And convenient in this case is definitely right here. So if I can actually get it in. Come on.
When putting webbing together, I always start with the biggest, most awkward bastard things first. Because the little things can be bounced across one hole to another, but things like shovels, when you're fitting it between rigger pouches and other items, there's only so many places it can go. So I always start with the biggest shit first.
Oh dear. There we are. Number one. And number two. That will also hold this rigger pouch in position a little bit. So if we had that like that, and then we put the bayonet on next to it.
Yeah. Also, when that's round the curve of your body, it actually seems to give it a lot more space than when you lay it flat on the table.
Hang on. There you go, there's one. Probably be easier if I took the bayonet out of the scabbard, wouldn't it? And there's two. Pull that nice and tight down like that. Pop the bayonet back in. And there we go. And again, once we start getting stuff in, that should fit quite nicely. And obviously when you're wearing it, that'll have a curve to it. So
there we go.
Hopefully that will work. Then moving along, we're going to go for the canteen. Well, suppose you can't really see a lot of what's going on there, can you? But as I say, I've shown you how to attach these before. Come on, where's the hole? Right, so that's the first one in. Come on.
Come on.
And there's the second one. So that's that side. And I think that's going to be alright. Doesn't look too bad. And then lastly, we just need to do the E-tool. And I'm hoping if I put that there, that will be right down my leg, so that's not interfering all the time. But we'll see, I guess. No way we're going to get this in without taking the entrenching tool out of it first.
Yeah, there we go, the package.
So we'll pop that out of the way for a minute.
Here's the later war type.
And do you want that there or there? Let's go with this bit first. On this side. Alright. And these are extra awkward to get in. Alright, there's one bit in. He says that and then it goes in straight away. Come on. And there's two bits in. Right, so that's all of it fitted to the belt. Now, I just need to do a test fit. So bear with me a minute and I'll get back to you. Right, so excuse the very not airborne trousers for a start. I just have the jacket on for the sake of
I was going to say something and I thought, no.
Test fitting, really. So this hasn't gone too badly so far. If I spin to the side here, you can see the E-tool's in pretty much exactly the space you want it to be.
Yep.
I might give it a go, pop it one forwards. What's definitely not where you want it to be is this medic pouch. I've given that too much leeway. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen and getting confused as to what my left and right is.
I do the same thing.
That needs to come one over, and then that'll be in exactly the right place, and that'll allow this rigger pouch to slide over further. Yeah. Which may even give room, if I can coordinate properly, there we are, to put the bayonet, what you can just see under my arm here. There you go. Might be able to slide that one forwards as well. Yeah. So we're going to just make them modifications now, and then I'll do another test fit and show you what happens. Right guys, so made a couple of changes. I'll just show you them before I test fit again. So the first aid has actually ended up being moved basically to the back of it. I've moved the E-tool over one. The rigger pouch on this side can now go right up to the edge because...
Oh, that's a shame. If you swap that water bottle and the middle rigger, I think that would probably be spot on to roughly how I'd lay that out. I'd either go rigger, bayonet, or rigger, bayonet, rigger.
The first aid pouch isn't getting in the way. I've moved the bayonet over one, and I've moved the canteen cover over one. So now hopefully everything will have a little more space. This is a bit tight here, but once I've got it on, I think that'll be right. Yeah, if not, I'll move that over again, and we'll see what happens. So let's do another test fit. Right then, so I had to make a couple of additions, or subtractions, I suppose. So these pouches, now exactly where you want them. Nothing's touching these at all. Spin around to the side here. The bayonet's sitting just where I wanted. It's not going to cause any interference at all. The canteen pouch, if I show you my butt a little bit, I'll move that round a little bit, so that's a bit further behind, just so that interacting with the bayonet. The T-handle,
not a
is
T-handle.
in the same place it was, but now that the rigger pouch can go forwards without the medical kit there, that's not interacting with anything. So that's going to be pretty good. I don't think that's going to cause me any problems there. And then the first aid pouch, I've ended up putting right on the back there, as you can see. And I've removed the rear rigger pouch because there just wasn't enough space. So this is a nice sort of thing. I'll have 8-10 Garand clips you can put in here. So that's the equivalent of your belt. You've got all the bits that you should have. You've got
Where are all your grenades going?
your first aid or your bandage pouch. You've got your entrenching tool. You've got your bayonet. You've got a fighting knife that I can put on the leg. You know how it does. And yeah, pretty happy with this. So now we better get the old pads fitted to the suspenders. Right then, this is where we're kind of going backwards, and a lot of you would probably say, well, you should have put them on before you attach the suspenders to your belt. And that's fair enough, but these are a pain. They twist about a lot. They can make it a bit of hassle getting them on and off as quick when you're trying to, put it on and off a lot of times when you're just testing the fit. So we'll do it this way, and that ain't that bad really, because all I've got to do now is just unclip the front two of each side. Try and remember where I wanted them. And then this wants to go that way there. So they come through there. And then they go back through there. Yep, that'll do it. And then simply reattach this to the belt. One there. One there. Right, so that's one side fitted on. Then we just do the same again. Try and remember where that one is. So no, that's that way. Don't go twisting up on me.
The joys of playing with tangly webbing. Every time you put it down.
Right, and that's that one done. Now I've just got to put these back on here. So that's the wrong one, that's this one over here. Oh. If nothing else, you guys are learning how totally incompetent I am when it comes to putting webbing on.
Oh.
So hopefully that's at least remotely entertaining. But it looks like, yeah. So now we've got our pads on. So the only thing left to do, apart from obviously put some ammo in here and a canteen pouch in there, a canteen in the canteen pouch, is to fit the musette bag. So we'll grab that and figure out exactly what we're going to do with it. Right, so I always found the musette bags to be a bit of a pain in the bum. What I'm going to do is just close it up with nothing in it, just loosely.
Shorten the straps as short as they will go, clip it on, it should be in the right place, because we are a lot bigger than they were back then.
As I say, I'm not going to do all detailed zoom-ins of me adjusting every piece of kit, because you've seen it all before. That probably bored you the first time. Right, so what we need to do is unclip these rear straps. That would then go there, is the final position. So what I want to have is these ideally folding underneath the pad, like so. And then clipping...
Never seen anybody do that before.
Oh, come on, onto there. So that would be that side. And then same again, I want to really go underneath the pad. And then pull onto there. And in theory, we'll leave the bottom bit for now. In theory, I can now test this and see how it fits. So I'm just going to do that quickly. Right guys, so I've done a test fit. The shoulder pads are still a massive pain in the arse and I still hate them.
Yeah,
they do the job though. I've adjusted the straps on the musette bag, which I've fitted on and tested. That was hanging a bit too low. That'll be fine now. We've got 4 Garand clips in each of the pouches and a nice original canteen and cup in the canteen pouch. The musette bag itself, I've decided, for now at least, I'm not going to fit it to the bottom.
No.
I'm going to have it just hang off the top.
Good.
I've already tested it, so you can swing it around and use it, and it's not really moving around too much because it's held in by the pads to
You've got all the correct stuff in there. It's such a weight anyway. It doesn't really move.
an extent. If I have any problems, I'll unclip the side and I'll put it round, but I'd rather have these holding up the sides of the belt rather than pulling the musette bag down. But we'll see how we get on at an actual event. Anyway, I've just popped some towels in this because I'm never going to have the actual items in this.
Oh, right, okay.
I put all of my personal items in the haversack, which you can see over there, which you've seen before. And the musette bag that's on my uniform never gets used for anything, so I've always got another musette bag with me with a shoulder strap if I want anything, or a GP bag, which I keep all my personal items in. So this has just got some towels in it to pad it up and make it look the part. And if you get rained out, you always need more towels anyway, so that's there. So this is how it's going to be, I think, and this is what we're going to test out. I'm just going to pop it on now so you can see what it's like now that's all finished. So here we have it. I'm fairly happy with this. I mean, I know I'm new supermodel, but it's looking alright, I reckon.
That musette bag
That's
is really
definitely
low.
sitting in a nice place.
You look at the pictures where they're with Eisenhower and see how high that bag is. It's really, really high up. It's almost, you know, top of the shoulders. It's, I mean, that's,
Pictures
that's
look
so
nice.
low.
Now they got some ammunition in them.
Which is why I said short on the straps, as short as they will go.
It's a shame they couldn't sit a bit further forwards, but if they did...
You know what? I have the MDT book to hand. Is the right one? No, of course it's not. It's okay, because I have the other one to hand too. I'll show you what I mean. Oh, look, I even opened it to the right bloody pages. So, where are they? Yeah, if you look at... Oh, let's make me a bit bigger for a second. Yeah, apologies for that. If you look at those bags and see how high they are, especially the guy in the middle, you know, that's way, way, way further up. So yeah, as I said, shorten them as short as it will go, and if you need to make it longer, make it longer.
Every time you undo the belt, that's going to fall off, and also... Oh my god, my coordination's awful. Also, you'd have a problem with this, because obviously they're a full loop, they don't hang on. But never mind, they look alright there. Yeah, E-tool's alright. Bayonet's alright. Canteen pouch sitting nice. And if you can still hear me at all, I'm hoping the musette bag looks alright.
No, up.
I mean, on the camera it looks okay to me. Maybe it needs another towel or two put in it just to pop it up. Maybe even shorten the straps on it a bit more just to make it hold a bit higher as well. So I'll probably do that, but I won't bother filming that. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully this isn't a completely fab-tastic airborne weapon. No doubt someone's going to find something to whinge about, mostly the fact that I'm a fat lard, I should think.
Fuck them. If they moan about what size you are, they need a fucking life. You look at the guys back then, they're every fucking size and shape going. Obviously they're not moosive, but nobody is the size they were back then. Fact. It's just, you know, and yet we're all trying to use original kit on bigger people, so that's weird in itself. Surely the kit we're getting reproduced now should be upscaled just slightly so that it was in ratio to what the guys are now to what they were then, because otherwise eventually we're going to be using tiny little belts on big people. But I guess nobody's really thought of that. And also musette bags, when you try and put all the original contents in it, we're trying to put socks that fit us now, box shorts that fit us now, long johns that fit us now, a raincoat that will fit us now, into a small bag which was designed to fit everything of the sizes of the guys back then. Nobody thought of this yet?
Note that when I do the airborne though, I'll be taking these off and just being blind for the sake of, you know, being authentic, unless I need to actually look at something. So yeah. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully it's given you a laugh, showing me being useless if nothing else. But yeah, when I'm at the event, I'll try and get you an actual full impression video, because obviously my impression is not a 43 or I should say a 42 jacket with a green t-shirt under it and some beige trousers. So that'll be coming up for you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.
Okay, so webbing, great. It's got HTC stuff. It's all good. But why no CC2 on your jacket? Obviously you're not wearing trousers, but so yeah, it's a work in progress, I would say, but it's a good start. Okay, well, it wasn't as appalling as I was hoping it was going to be. I couldn't give him a battering over nothing because there's nothing to give him a battering about. Okay, cheers, Jason. I'm signing off. Nice quick one. Laters.